Hello, welcome to Steve McDonald's Crafting, and today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you how you can draw flowers from a reference image, similar to these. Now, I showed how I draw my flowers before, but I drew them from what I'd already previously drawn. A lot of people said we'd really like to know how to draw them from a reference. So what I've done is I've gone on the internet, just did a Google search for flower images, pulled off these 4 images, and I'm going to show you quickly how you can draw these facing you, the tulip facing you, and these two where this one's facing up and this one's facing that way. And it really is simple. So stay along for the ride and let's get on with it. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos, and ring that bell, ding-a-ling-a-ling, so you get notifications when my next video's out. So you're not going to need too much for this. All you're going to really need is some pencils and some pens. And I made this Harry Potter chest out of a cardboard box from Amazon that got delivery in the other day. I don't know if you saw the video. I'll link it at the end of this one. And I've decided that's what I'm going to keep my pencils in. And what I'm going to be using as well is I'm just going to be using this mixed media pad. I really like the mixed media pads. I'm going to be using my Micron pens. I'm going to use a 3, a 5 and a 01 today. And I'm definitely going to be needing an eraser, because I cannot draw, as I've said before, but I can draw flowers using this technique. So today I've chosen to use this one, which is a 3B, and I think that will be ideal. So the first thing that we need to do, and I think we'll start with these ones, because I think they're going to be a little bit easier because they're kind of face on. We need to decide where our guidelines are going to be. Now these flowers are all facing towards me, and this one is just standing straight up. So these are fairly going to be easy. And now I'm not going to be at all worried about this image. This is just something that I've printed off and I've photocopied. So my guidelines are, I know that there's a circle there because that's where the center is. And then I know that there's a circle there because that's where all my petals finish. So I'm going to put that in there. And I now know it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 petals. And I can put a rough, you didn't even need to do this bit, but it gives you some sort of idea, outline. Now, when you look at the whole picture, you think, oh, that looks really difficult. But when you look at it in its parts, I find it becomes a lot more manageable. I'm just going to worry about drawing each part and then allow the picture to come together at the end. So they're my guidelines, and if it had a stem, I would draw the stem in. If it had leaves, I would draw where I think the leaves would go. Regarding the tulip, now this is kind of a different shape, and it does have a stem. What I'm going to do is this one is, I know that there's a little bit there, so I'm going to draw that in like that, but I know that that's red. There's the stem. And then this bit here isn't a circle, because that's kind of flat and squashed like that. And this bit just goes round there, like so. And really, there's only 1, 2, 3, the actual petals showing in this one. I've put them in there. And what you can do now is you can either turn this over on your piece of paper and do a rubbing of it, and it gives you those lines. Or what you can do is, now you know roughly what those shape of lines are, you can draw that over. And I'll show you that in a second. So quickly on this one, because these are in a different direction, their circles are going to be a little bit different. And also this one hasn't really got a major center as such, because the leaves go in there like this. So this is probably the most difficult one. So we'll do that one in a second. So this one is going to have the oval shaped center, like that. And then it's also going to have an oval shaped outside ring where you've got the petals. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 petals. So let's just quickly draw those in. Don't need to, we can do this bit straight on the page when we do our sketch, but this might make it easier. Because that way you can see which ones are being overlapped. And with this good reference as well, it will make life so much easier when you're looking at your shading and things. So that's that one. And if you want to put a stem in, you can. There is a stem there. It's quite a little thin stem. It goes up to there. And if you actually wanted to put that bud in, you could put that one in there as well. That's no problem. Now this one is a little bit more difficult. So what I will do for this one is I will draw around the outside edge again here. You see that's quite an odd shaped outside edge. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move my paper. There's nothing wrong with moving your paper, and don't forget there's nothing wrong with using an eraser either. I'm going to pop in that. I'm just going to pop in my little bit there. And then here is where I'm going to draw my petals. So there's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one kind of comes up here like that. This one is kind of there. That one's coming there. And that one's coming there. And then I'm going to roughly sketch in where my dark bit is there. So we've planned those out nice and easily. And like I said, you can, if you want to, put your piece of paper on there, go over it, do a rough rubbing of it. That can be just your sketch, so that would be a rubbing sketch. If you're not very good with a computer, which I'm not, if you upload your pictures into a Word document, to be honest, on an A4 Word document, same size as this piece of paper, you can scale it and move it around really, really easy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my centre, which I know is about like that. My outside, see I've gone wrong already, done a terrible circle there. And I wouldn't normally draw these dark lines as dark, I would normally sketch them in like that, but I want you to be able to see them. So I'm going to draw my circle in. Oh, thank goodness for an eraser. Like that. I'm going to look at my leaves, and the first one I'm going to put in is number 1. And don't forget, you want a wiggly line. Doesn't have to be exact, fortunately. Like that. And I'm not happy with that one because it looks like it's drooping to the side. So I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to bring that in there. That's much better. That's easy. Done. So let's transfer this one over, which is the tulip. I'm going to look at the tulip. I know the top of my tulip is that shape. And then I want it to end up about there. And so I'm just going to join up those two. Like that. That's where my darker bit's going to be. My first petal is kind of there. Then my second petal follows that line around to there. It comes across there like that, down there to about there. And this one is slightly wider than that. So it's coming up here, coming into there, coming off there like that, and there. And then we've got a little one that's kind of sticking there at the back. And if you think, oh, I think I need another one there, you can pop another one there, but you don't need to. And then when we look at this, what we can see is actually what I've done with this is I've elongated it too much and it's coming down to a point here. So what I'm going to do is I'm rubbing that out there. I'm going to put my end bit in again there. I'm just going to draw that into there like that. That's my bit that goes over. I'm going to come back into there, bring my stem out here. So I'm happy with that one. So all we need to do now is get our 0.5, which is our larger Micron pen. Let's just fill them in. So we don't want the guidelines because they are there just for exactly what I just said, just to guide you. But we do want the actual flower lines. Again, make them a bit woggly. Let's do that up here. Bring that one down and round. And we will put this petal in here, and I think I will bring one there as well. When we look at this now, we know exactly which bits to fill in. We're only filling in the bits that we want to fill in. We've put all the little bits together and we're left with a hole. Not a hole as in let's jump in a hole, but as in a whole picture. And the same for this, but I'm not actually going to draw in the centre, and I'll show you why in a second. So I'm just going to pop those in, again, doing my wiggly lines. And the reason I'm not doing the centre is I'm going to rub this out now, but you'll still see it slightly under there because I know that's roughly where I want it. And I'm just going to put some little black lines going in different directions there because that's got quite a fluffy centre bit. And then when we do the colour, we can add the colour of those little bits in there with a yellow pen. So now that's enough in there. I'm quite happy with that. My style is that I like to have lots of lines going through my flowers, and I find that that gives them, for me, in my style, but you don't have to, you can leave them like this. But when you look at this picture, you can see there's lots of different lines all coming off that flower. Can you see? So there's one there, there. And you can do that when you're shading, but I also like to put my lines in now and I always, as I said before in my previous video, I always go in the direction that I think that petal is actually going. And I always do some from the top and some from the bottom. Different lengths, I don't have them all, and I do a kind of flicking motion like this. Sometimes I have a broken line. I'm quite happy with that now, and then I'll do the same for this one. I'm going to go up from the bottom first on the tulip. And then rub out your pencil marks. And as soon as you rub out your pencil marks, they come to life. That's those two drawn. And it is an interpretation of them. You know, you're not doing an exact replica, because if you wanted an exact replica, you could just take a photograph. And that would look lovely too. But you've got the shapes, you've got the design. And I really love that. So they're the two easy ones. I'm going to just rub that out, because I don't need that there. And again, you could do a rubbing for this if you wanted to, you know, turn it over and rub it, but it's nicer to practice it this way. So the first one I'm going to do is this one because this is slightly easier than this one. So the first bit I'm going to put in is that kind of funny shape there, which is like an egg on its side. And then I can see, and if you want to do it exact, you can put your pencil there and think, right, that's my first mark, and on there. So that's my second mark. See the difference in the heights there and there? You perhaps wouldn't notice it to start with. And then join those up. And I think my centres for this is a bit big, so I'm going to just change that slightly. I'm going to have it there like that. And then I'm going to put petal 8 in first, because I can see that that is the one that is kind of overlapping. I've not done a big enough arch on that one. So that is the one that's kind of overlapping, like that. So that's, you can even number them, 8, 1. And this one's got a biggish gap here, and it kind of doesn't join it there. So it comes over to here, round there, like that, and then kind of this one here overlaps it. There, and this one here. And then this one here looks like a paddle. So you've got 4, 3, 2, 5. And then 6 is quite a wideish one here, but I'm going to put in 7 first, again, because that is the one that is going up like that. Down here, more that shape. It's not quite as bowed as I've just made it, so I'm going to trim that down a little bit. Oh, that's better. And then 6 comes off that one to there, kind of like that. Then it goes down there like that. And then it's in there like that. So it's 6, 7, 8. So we know we've got all the same petals. Again, we have got a stem coming from this. It's coming here and it's coming there like that. See? That one there. So I'm just going to take my 5, and that one should now, that one is centre, is all really few black dots, and then other than that, it's mostly, I believe, is yellow. And now I'm just going to follow my lines. So again, wiggly lines off of there, like that. If you think, oh, I want a bit cut out of that one, it's imperfect. Everything is imperfect, nothing's perfect. Just follow your lines. I'm going to put 7 in first before 6. And then 6 in like that. Put my little stem in. Now my lines with my 01. Again, just thinking which way the lines go. So on 2, the lines go like this way. And it's because it's facing up. 3, well, if my printer hadn't run out, I think they're going like that. 4, they're coming across here. 5, they're virtually going like this. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, and check out everything that I've put in the description. So I have got lots of videos planned and coming out soon. And if you'd like to buy me a coffee just to say thank you for all the videos and everything that I make and help me keep making my videos, then the link is in the description. It's very much appreciated. So as you can see, I'm just following the guide of that flower itself. So I'm using it as a reference. I don't want to make it exact. I am using it as a guide, and it's telling me the directions and things that I want to go. So again, as soon as we rub that out, that will come to life. And can you see, once that yellow gets put in there, that will start to come to life. But you can already see it's looking at you from a different direction. This one is the most difficult one. If we look at this, that there, distance there, is shorter than that distance there. So we really want to put in first our little centre bit. We need it to be rounder than I've made it. That looks about right to me. And then we want a shorter here. So I'm going to go to about here on that, and then wider here, so here on that. Let's see, this distance is not much different to that. So we can put a mark there and a mark there, and then we can just follow these around. Okay. That needs to be rounder than that. Again, that needs to be a little bit rounder, but I'm happy with those. The first petal we're going to put in is this one, number 1, and that's kind of coming from here, coming up like that, round, bit in there, round, bit there, wiggled there, and back into there. 2 is coming from behind it, and it's quite just a normal petal like that. 3 is then coming from there again, going to about there. 4 is coming round here, like that, up here to there, and then 5 is kind of bowing into there, like that. I'm not happy with 5, and I tell you why, because this circle shape wasn't big enough slightly, so it needs to come up here. And that's the great thing about sketching them first. You don't have to get rid of all your petals, you don't have to throw your bit of paper away. So that come out like that, it went like that, then up, then down, then up, then around there. And then this bit here is right up against that edge there, which is that one there. It's coming there, that bit's almost straight on at you like that, and it's coming just to the edge of there, and then it's got that fuzzy bit on it. And you don't have to use black outliners, you can use the same colour as the petal if you don't want to have the black outlines. Let's draw this in. So we've got one, two. Now that bit there goes over that petal, so we don't need to draw that bit in, but we do see all of that. It finishes off like that. That's virtually dead straight, fine. So we need to start from there, go all the way around to there. That's coming in there like that, to there. And then this is all shading, so we don't need to worry about this bit at the moment, but we do need to worry about the lines. Well, we don't need to worry about them, we just need to do them. Again, I'm looking at the lines, and on this picture, they're all coming, and you can draw on the picture, I mean, that's what it's for. Kind of come in like that sort of shape, and these ones are virtually going straight on. If I look at this one, I think they're coming up like this. So I'll follow that direction. This one's coming virtually straight on. This one is coming round here like this. This one's coming up here. And this one's going off at this kind of angle. A little bit straighter here. And then this is just really just quite fuzzy. So let's rub that out. You'll see it kind of comes to life. Now, if you want to put your darker bits in with these pens, then, you know, feel free to do that. Or if you literally want to draw a circle in there, then feel free to do that. What we've got here is we've got 4 flowers directly drawn from references. So we've got that flower there, that tulip there, and those 2 there. Once you put all these little bits together, you've got a flower. Same as anything else, you know, you put all the bits together, break it down into its little bits, and it becomes much more manageable, rather than looking at it and thinking, I have got no idea how to even start with that. I hope this has helped, and they're not exact replicas from these, I've just used these pictures as a reference. Please give it a go. Let me know in the comments below if you've given it a go in a week's time and how you get on, or if you've given it a go today and how you've got on. I really would love to know. Thank you very much. Take care. Enjoy your crafting. Don't forget, hit subscribe and ring that little bell. And I'll see you soon, and I'll see you in the next video coming up.